Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
This is the Election Bureau. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. Coming up this afternoon, farmers in the northern region distressed over severe impact of prolonged dry spell in some areas as Ghana celebrates 40th National Farmers Day today.
In the district, they recognize this community as the best yam producing community, but this year we can't achieve our target.
Meanwhile, the Peasant Farmers Association is calling on the government to address pressing issues facing farmers across the country. Also coming up in the bulletin, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission impresses on the Civil and Local Government Staff Association CLOTSAC to return to negotiations as the nationwide strike enters day 2.
We are asking them that dialogue is the way forward and that they should call off the strike. Come and let's continue to engage. That's all.
Still in the bulletin.
We are asking them that dialogue.
They see me as a mother, and so they refer to me as Nyawo Papa. And believe you me, I trust God that the good people of Dadekotopon, they are going to vote for Etano Dole Sowa.
2020, she was also first time, and she won. So I believe strongly that we can sail through with some hard work.
Today on our special constituency report, we'll tell you about the tight parliamentary race between Retana Odole Sowa and Joseph Adu in Lada de Kotopon and what to expect as Ghana goes to the polls in less than a month. And later we hit the campaign trail and bring you up to speed on where the two leading presidential candidates in the elections are and what they are up to. Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, the news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, we're live on a number of affiliate stations. If you're in the Western region, tune in to Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, J Live 95.5 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. If you're in the Volta region, this is Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu. In the Northern region, find us on Radio Bimbela 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. And in the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM and Jurapa 96.1 FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
And 29 days to the December elections, we hit the campaign trails and begin from the camp of the National Democratic Congress. And the chief of APAFU in the Oti region has publicly endorsed the National Democratic Congress and its flag bearer John Mahama ahead of the 2024 elections. The chief stated that his support stems from the NDC's vision for Ghana, particularly its focus on communities like Santro Kofi, Apafu Lipe and Lolobi, while expressing hope for increased development and economic growth in Akpafo and the broader voter region if Mahama is elected. He shared his sentiments during Mahama's campaign visit to the area.
Forward to your continuous support and leadership in making Guam communities and our nation a better place for all. It is our desire and fervent hope that you win this election with first rank. the late Professor John Fifi Evans Atamils visited Akpafu in the last days of his campaign to become the President of the Republic of Ghana. The current President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, visited us here, and victory was his. Now that President John Dramani Mahama is here, inshallah, victory is yours in this election. His Excellency, the Gwan District is with you. Lonely John Dramani Mahama.
And that's the chief of Akpafu Indioti region, Bosache Lejache Mreku II. Meanwhile, the NDC flag bearer, John Mahama, has begun his 3-day tour of the central region today. Let's now move to the camp of the New Patriotic Party, and its flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, has pledged free tertiary education for the children of cocoa farmers. According to the vice president, this initiative aims to replace the senior high school cocoa scholarship scheme, which has been redundant due to the implementation of free senior high school education. Speaking at the Farmers' Day celebration in Jokobu within the Odotobri constituency, Dr. Bawumia emphasized that the new policy is intended to support cocoa farmers by extending educational benefits to the tertiary level.
First, na Cocoa Board Emma Omoma scholarships Omoko senior high school Cocoa Board scholarships Cocoa Board Emma Omo Eko senior high school and then free SHS Ninti Ubiaba Eko senior high school free Eninti Abain Afa Adwinse Sikana na yedi tuya koko equiafo umama fees no. From next year, koko equiafo umama cocoa board ebe tuya umu university fees free ama o koko equiafo ma. So new policy ebe ma koko equiafo ma under cocoa board umu program. You
heard the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, but let me just wrap up what he said in English. Essentially, he's saying what makes him happy is that Cocoa Board used to support the children of farmers, but thanks to the free senior high school policy, every child now has access to education. He also went on to say that this means the funds Cocoa Board previously allocated for children's education can now be directed towards supporting their tertiary education. Let's stay on the elections, and the well-being of persons with disabilities has become a focal point in the manifestos of both the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress ahead of the upcoming elections. Now, both parties have committed to providing free tertiary education for PWDs, though their strategies vary. Now, in the following report, City News' Fauzi Masawudu provides an in-depth look at each party's approach to supporting PWDs.
According to the 2021 population census by the Ghana Statistical Service, approximately 8%, representing over 2 million individuals of the Ghanaian population, experience some form of disability. As the 2024 general elections draw near, discussions on the welfare of PWDs have intensified, with both major political parties pledging to provide free tertiary education for PWDs. A member of the MPP Education Committee, Dr. Kwabena Bempa Tando, explained that their proposal is rooted in the compassion of the party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, towards PWDs.
Dr. Bawumia has exceptional passion for persons with disabilities, and it has reflected in his life, both private life and public life. Before even he becoming flag bearer, we all know that he has been a major supporter of people with leprosy or people who have been afflicted with leprosy.
Spokesperson for the NDC's Education Committee, Clement Apak, claimed that their promise is a reiteration of the party's previous manifesto proposals for PWDs.
Those who are later day saints purporting to accuse the NDC of copying their policy should go back and look at the NDC's 2020 manifesto, we stated even in the 2020 manifesto that should the NDC be given the mandate, we would ensure that persons with disability enjoy free education at the tertiary level.
Education think tank Africa Education Watch believes the proposed policy, if implemented, could contribute significantly towards achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals related to PWDs.
The disabled fall within the social categorization of vulnerable population. And so providing interventions to remove any possible financial access barriers and other barriers that may exist in their way to accessing tertiary education after providing free basic and secondary education to them is within the strategy and the priorities of the education strategic plan.
However, amid the country's rising debt stock and its economic implications, questions persist about how the policy will be funded. The opposition NDC plans to reduce funds allocated to the presidency to finance the initiative.
If we are going to cut the budget to the Office of Government Machinery, even by half of the average of 2 billion, that means we have a whole 1 billion per annum. And that will be more than sufficient to cover all first-year students, and I would say including persons with disability. But that is not going to be the only source of funding.
The governing NPP, on the other hand, outlines plans to amend existing systems to mobilize the necessary funds for the policy.
So instead of, say, a building that may have cost 2 million Ghana cedis or 3 million Ghana cedis to build, the private sector person will spend 3 million Ghana cedis to build, but in an agreement with government, will lease it for over a 15-year period. And for that matter, they will not charge government 3 million Ghana cedis a month or a year. They may charge 200,000 Ghana cedis. So all of a sudden, that 3 million that Get Fund should have sunk in, Get Fund has every year 2.8 million sitting there. So we don't even have to look at going to borrow.
Fauzu Masawudu's report there, but let's go to another report. And today, we spotlight the Lada de Kotopon constituency, where the NDC and NPP are preparing for a tight race ahead of the elections. Incumbent NDC MP Rita Na Odole Sowa seeks re-election, while first-time NPP candidate Joseph Ado, closely associated with the president, aims to capture the seat. Akusia Ochre reports. Well, we'll bring you that report subsequently, but let's now move to the Western region, because much like the Central region, the region is shaping up to be a crucial battleground for both the NPP and the NDC in the upcoming elections. As neither party claims at it as a stronghold, the region holds significant sway in determining the overall outcome of the presidential race. In the following report, Citi News' Samuel Yafi examines the voting dynamics and factors that could influence voters' decisions in the Western region.
The Western region, like the Central region, is considered a battleground for both the MPP and the NDC. The presidential candidate or the political party that wins the region automatically wins the national election. In 2012, John Mahama of the NDC secured some 360,542 votes, representing 50.24%, whilst Nana Akufo-Addo of the MPP obtained 342,217 votes, representing 47.69% of total vote cast. In that election, John Dramani Mahama of the NDC won. In 2016, the tables turned. Nana Akufo-Addo secured 384,211 votes, representing some 55.83% of total vote cast, whilst John Dramani Mahama of the NDC obtained some 285,938 votes, representing 41.55%. Nana Akufo-Addo was declared winner of that election. Nana Akufo-Addo won a second term in office after the 2020 election, securing 439,605 votes, and the NDC's John Dramani Mahama managed some 398,5 573 votes, representing 46.24%. The Western region from history vote for the winning candidate in every election. In the 2024 election, the region is expected to follow the pattern and produce a winner. The Western Regional Chairman of the NPP, Francis Sai, says the region is ready to help make Dr. Bawumia the winner of the December election.
After tomorrow, to measure breaking the act, and now I don't take it. And the America, then with the analysis of analysis of our poll, we are breaking the air. But we are breaking the air.
The NDC, however, is not leaving anything to chance. The Member of Parliament for Elembele and Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Amakufibua says the NDC is poised to win the December elections.
Ghana fu amiyayati. De yemo bia nchimi yensa. Obia owo na dream there. Abe obede wo chimi yensa na wo wie mu na. One time say, where you na here because we want to avoid that. We want to avoid a stage in the coming months where the people of Ghana will stand up. And they will.
That report was filed by Citi News' Sammy Wiafe. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, we'll bring you that story about the tight race between Rita Na Odole Sowa and Joseph Ado in the Lada de Kotopon constituencies, plus other stories. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV. Telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Today on the Citi Prime News, we spotlight the Lada de Kotopon constituency. Well, the NDC and the NPP are preparing for a tight race there ahead of the December elections. Incumbent NDC MP Rita Na Odole Sowa seeks re-election, while first-time NPP candidate Joseph Ado aims to capture the seat. Akosi Archery examines the contest and each candidate's prospects.
According to the 2020 voters register, the Lada de Kotopon constituency has a total voter population of 124,116 spread across 20 electoral areas. Some of the most popular localities in the constituency include La, Bema-Camp, Laboni, Cantonments, among others. Politically, the Lada de Kotopon constituency has largely been a stronghold of the National Democratic Congress, particularly in presidential elections. The NDC has won every presidential election in the constituency from 1996 to 2020, except 2000 when it lost to the NPP. The parliamentary elections, however, remain a battleground. The NDC has won 5 times and lost only in the 2000 and 2016 parliamentary elections. Rita Na Odole Sowa, on the ticket of the NDC, won the 2020 parliamentary elections by a margin of about 6,000 votes against the NPP's Joseph Nyanyofio of the New Patriotic Party. For the upcoming 2024 elections, the NDC has retained Rita Odole Sowa as their parliamentary candidate, and she seeks to win the seat for a second time.
I have lived with the good people of Lada de Kotopon, born and bred here. I have worked well with them. I have lived in harmony with them. I have lived peacefully with them. And they see me as a mother. And so they refer to me as Nyawo Papa. And believe you me, I trust God that the good people of Lada de Kotopon, Muslims, Christians, traditionalists, the youth, the aged, the persons with disability, they are one of my heartbeats that I work closely with. they are going to vote for Retano Odole Sowa and John Dramani Mahama, so that I'll have a second term in Parliament, because in Parliament, when you go for your first term and you go for a second term, you are able to do more than your first term.
The NPP aiming to reclaim the seat is fielding Joseph Addo, a long-time chauffeur for President Akufo-Addo. Though new to the political arena, Joseph Addo's close ties to the president have drawn attention to his candidacy.
There's always a first time. In 2020, she was also first time, and she won. So I believe strongly that we can sail through with some hard work. So I don't have so much to say. We are doing our possible best to make sure that we win the seat. Everybody knows what I've been doing from 2017 up to today, and they believe strongly that if they give me the opportunity, we'll see some difference in Lada de Kotopo.
Honorable, a lot of people are curious to know why you're moving from professional driving, to politics. Is it for fear of losing your job if President Akufo-Addo leaves the Jubilee House?
Well, I've been driving the president for 24 years. So I'm his driver before he became president. Right? So also, it's not about losing my job. I will still drive him if he's the former president.
Could Joseph Addo's political debut and support from high-ranking NPP members tilt the scales in favor of the NPP? Kingsley Ajiman is the NPP chairman of the Lada de Kotopon constituency.
This is an MP who promised, a simple thing like a library in all the 10 electoral areas. She has not even put up a kiosk. Everybody, we are thirsty to reclaim our seats. Our candidate's guy name, or I would say his nickname, is Izebe.
What does it mean?
When he used to play football, that's when they call him Izebe.
Was he a striker or a defender?
He was a very, very strong defender, lefty. You cannot pass him just like that. Yeah, so when they mention Izebe, they say Ejumira.
The NDC, however, is confident of retaining both the parliamentary and presidential votes in the constituency.
It is not always the responsibility of an MP, especially an MP in opposition, to provide jobs. It is the government, through the president, executive instrument, that will influence job creation. What this government has rather done to this constituency is created unemployment. Companies, there were institutions that had offices in the trade fair. They've demolished all of them.
The residents say the current economic challenges in the country have worsened their living conditions. But will these factors be a deciding factor for voters in this constituency? And who are their preferred candidates?
One of our major priorities is the hospital. He was the one that drove the president to the large general hospital to demolish the hospital. And as we are speaking now, they gave us 2 years, 3 years. They said that it's time for election, so they came and they started something. Now it has been altered. Why should such a person who drove the president to demolish our hospital be the person standing to be elected as our MP? It cannot be possible.
We know we have MP in Labadi, but I personally don't know.
That you have an MP?
Yeah, because I'm a youth. I don't know the program she has for the youth, but this man is the best for us.
So you are voting for him come December 7th?
And he's the number one. I'm not going to 2 or 3. I'm just going to 1.
So those are constituents of Lada de Kotopon speaking to Akusi Ochre in that report. Let's now move away from elections. And ahead of this year's Farmers' Day celebration, farmers in the northern region are concerned over the severe effect of a prolonged dry spell in the area. Many farmers have lost their crops due to the extended period without rainfall, and they are urgently appealing to the government for assistance. Here is one of them speaking to City News.
This year is a big disaster for we, the farmers in the northern region. At the beginning of the year, I was able to farm 8 acres of maize, and the whole thing dried off. So I was relying on the yam farm again, and the rain pattern didn't favor us again. In the district, they recognize this community as the best yam producing community, but this year we can't achieve our target.
The rain stopped not to rain. So due to that, our farming team, all of them, yam, granite, maize, all of them die. So this year it wasn't good for us. So in this community we are suffering a lot. To get food to eat is our problem. So we are appealing to government to support us.
If you look at our farm crops, most of it has just totally dried. And so governments should look at it and see how government can take care or support farmers this year. If not that, it's a very, very, very big disaster against farmers. Our animals, in fact, they are suffering a lot. Where to get common drinking water to drink.
Well, you rather heard some farmers in Zabzugu speaking about the impact of the dry spell hit in the northern region. Still on the Farmers' Day celebration, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is urging the government to address the pressing challenges facing farmers rather than focusing solely on celebrations. Here's Executive Director of the association, Bismarck Owusu-Norte.
Celebrating farmers is something that we should all support, and that's something that BIFAC is always supporting. Now, where we have issues is the government's more or less like hypocrisy when it comes to addressing the issues that affect farmers. Because you can't have a situation where the people you are celebrating, you are not addressing their critical issues, but then you turn around and organize a whole farm fair. The first issue had to do with the issue of illegal mining. And we have, on several occasions, highlighted the effect that galamsey is causing to our farmers. How our farmers have lost their livelihoods, how our farmers have lost their farmlands, how water bodies have been polluted as farmers are not able to use them, how over 2 million farmers risk their livelihoods being displaced because.
You heard the Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Bismarck Owusu-Norte. Away from that, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has called on the Civil and Local Government Staff Association, CLOSAG, to engage with the government's proposed alternatives to resolve their ongoing concerns. CLOSAG, currently on strike, is pressing for a revised salary structure and better working conditions. However, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission referenced a 2011 High Court ruling that restricts CLOSAG from withdrawing from the existing pay structure. In response, the government has suggested alternative solutions, but CLOSAG has yet to respond. While engaging the Media Commission, the Commission CEO Benjamin Arthur urged CLOSAG to return to the negotiation table.
All that we're waiting for is that they should respond to the government's offer. I have always said that it's engagement that will bring the resolution to the matter. It's not by taking yourself away from work. So the alternatives that have been considered, government concluded in one and gave them the offer. So we're waiting that the National Labour Commission's intervention will be respected in this matter.
I went to the meeting with the Commission on Monday. Can you confirm that?
We have not been invited for Monday. Not yet. Maybe it's not an information available to us.
So can you reiterate your stance on the strike and background by CLOSAG?
Well, we are asking them that dialogue is the way forward and that they should call off the strike. Come and let's continue to engage. That's all.
Meanwhile, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has also criticized the Health Services Workers Union of the TUC for threatening to take action if the government does not finalize its conditions of service by Monday, November 11. The commission described the threat as being made in bad faith, urging the union to engage in constructive dialogue to address their concerns.
To get out there and say that the government team has delayed in concluding the negotiations, and to say that by Monday, if there is no conclusion, you are taking your own course. We think that that is an unfair labor practice. The government team would want to caution that prolonging the negotiations to not be helpful. We are not for prolonging negotiations. It's been occasioned, if there is anything called delays, it's been occasioned by their own demands, by tabling new items, which they ask that we should continue to engage in.
Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Benjamin Arthur. Now, the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Yariga, has defended the cost tied to recalling Parliament, emphasizing the democratic importance of such sessions. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Mr. Yariga addressed public concerns over expense, reportedly at least 1 million cedis per recall. He argued that these costs represent an investment in upholding Ghana's constitutional democracy, adding that the alternative military rule or dictatorship would pose far greater risk to the country.
You know, you cannot really place value on when the Constitution is protected, when it is defended, when people stand up to make sure that we imbibe the appropriate constitutional culture that should inform the governance of the country. You cannot place monetary value and calculate and say, this is how much it costs. And so when a practice takes place, it might appear to you to have cost money, but what is the alternative? We had military regimes. We know what it cost us to live under military regimes. We now have a constitution, and it says Parliament can be convened and Parliament can adjourn, and people have the right.
You heard the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Yariga, and in today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. For more news, you can log on to citynewsroom.com and also join us using the hashtag CityVerify, hashtag GhanaPost2024, and hashtag Election Bureau for all your election-related stories. My name is Ajua Tinkrama Domna. Thank you for your company. Good afternoon.
City News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302-224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
Efia, I've been thinking, have you noticed the changes in our community?
Kojo, things are really different now. The MPP has really made a difference.
Exactly. Free SHS, healthcare, new factories. It's like a whole new Ghana.
And don't forget, electricity is so much reliable now. I remember when we used to go days without light.
True. The NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS, and now she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But Efia, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kojo. The NPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
City 97.3. More variety. The city is alive on 97.3. City 97.3. Accra. Anytime, any day, anywhere. The city is alive on 97.3 FM.
Everybody girl, Ghanaian girl, London girl, Island girl, which one of them bad?